Right now, it is time for our first Soy Market Series update interview here on AOA, and we're discussing a very important topic: mental health on the farm and ranch. Joining us now, he is American Soybean Association Director and a farmer from Minnesota. Bob Worth is with us here today on the program. Bob, it is great to talk with you, sir. Hope all is well.
Thank you very much for having me. And yeah, things are going well. It's harvest time, and it's a busy time of the year.
Absolutely. And I know you're taking a few minutes out of your busy day with combines rolling and more there in Southwest Minnesota to talk to us here about this important topic, mental health. And we were chatting a bit about this off air. And I think just for starters, it's important to emphasize to folks, especially with all the concern and angst and more that's happening in farm country right now, that when that stress mounts up, it's okay to reach out for help and get someone to talk to, essentially, Bob, when things are just getting too stressful on the farm, right?
Oh, that's very true. From my personal experience, I had I went through the 1980s crisis, and that's where I had my depression. And it took me until 2019 before I started talking about it. I kind of kept everything into myself. I know I got some help in the 80s, but I never talked about it. And I thought maybe it's time that, we should start talking about it, how easy it is to get help. And everybody should be able to get help and do not be embarrassed or anything, because the more you talk about it, the better you will be.
And I know too that, folks in agriculture in rural America, we're proud people, and a lot of times folks don't want to reach out for that help until it's too late. And it gets compounded too this time of year with harvest season going on, and everyone is running at a breakneck speed to get the crop out and get ready for the winter months and more. And so you keep piling on that stress. That's that's when things can get really tough for some folks, Bob.
Well, it is because, like you said, farmers are a very private person. I mean, they don't like to talk about anything that goes on in their life. But this is one thing that we need to talk about, to not only the clergy, your medical staff, or a psychologist, your spouse. My goodness, that's who got me help back in 1986, was my spouse. She made me go to a medical doctor. Back in the 80s, that was not done for mental health. You just never went to a medical doctor for that. But it is time. Times are changing, and today is the day you go get some help. And if you see a neighbor, if you just see a neighbor, all of a sudden that he was very joyful and always laughing, and all of a sudden he comes very secluded, doesn't want to talk much. Get some help for that guy, because he's going into some serious stuff. As you said, the farm economy is really tough. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The inputs are high. Our profits from our crops are below break even. So I think everybody's going to go have some kind of mental stress this fall, not only with being tired for harvest, but knowing that you're not going to make any money, and how we're going to survive for another year.
Let's talk about some of the resources that are out there. And I know the American Soybean Association has some soy help resources, is what they call it, on the soygrowers.com website. There's a lot of stuff there. And Bob, I know you mentioned this to me as well. It's very important just for folks to remember 988, right, Bob?
Right. 911 is the number that you always have in your mind. But here's another one to put right alongside of that: 988, because that is a instant access to some help if you are feeling yourself going into mental depression, anxiety, even suicide. Don't even hesitate. Call 988 and get some help. There's a lot of great people there. There's so many great programs out there to get some help for you. Do not try to do this alone. Try to get some help, because it is so important, because we all want everybody here tomorrow. We do not want to take time to have to go to a funeral because of a suicide or something like that. I've had to do that too many times. Some friends. I do not want to do it anymore.
No, that is an extremely important point. And I know in terms of all the resources, like I said, 988, I know there's a lot of great folks out there, state by state resources that are available. I think of groups like Rural Minds. We've talked with them before on this program. There's a lot of help out there specifically for folks in rural America as well, Bob.
Well, that's very true. A lot of the departments of ag in your state have great programs out there because everybody's becoming aware that this is a big issue in rural America. And it's not only rural America, it's all America, but it's really showing up in rural America because suicide is the number one cause of death in agriculture. So, it's something we got to work on and try to get fixed.
Bob, we got about 40 seconds. Any final thoughts you would share or reiterate with folks when it comes to mental health on the farm?
Please do not be embarrassed to go get help. It's just like going to a doctor or something if you have pneumonia or a broken arm or whatever. This is equally as important to go get some help. It's easy to do. It's very painless, and these professionals can talk you through it, give you some medications if you need it. All I ask is please get help and find a resource to do that.
And those resources, you could find them at soygrowers.com. We'll share that link and information. 988, a great number to remember as well. And we wish everyone a safe and happy harvest season. With that, Bob Worth, ASA farmer leader and a director from Minnesota, joining us for our Soy Market Update series conversation. Bob, we'll wish you a great harvest season as well. Thanks so much for the time here on the show today.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk about mental health.
Bob Worth, ASA, American Soybean Association farmer leader, joining us here for the Soy Market Update series on agriculture of America.